Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Usayome Stale, and today I'm joined by my Monday tonics. Hi, Elsie Godwin. Hi, Isia Fodile. How are you doing?
It's becoming a routine.
Yeah. How are you?
Good.
Very well,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
So who are we starting with? Elsie, you took your second jab for COVID.
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
I don't know, to be very honest. I really don't know. Because, you know, I'm on the medication as well. So I don't know if it's the COVID vaccine or it meeting my medication and causing palava. But on Thursday, I had one. First, I think I had something I'll call diarrhea, but that one was something else because it felt like my whatever you have at the lower abdomen, it felt like it was going to fall off.
Wow.
Like I was literally lying down in the toilet. I asked for food in the toilet because I wanted to be sure. Is it that I didn't eat enough? Because I also took the medication I'm on is something I take twice a week, Mondays and Thursday. So I also took that medication on that same day. So I wanted to be sure.
What was
causing
causing
it? I didn't eat enough or what is the problem or more. And now, see, I have makeup on, but you probably will see it. I have a bit of swollen eyelid. My dear, I've started taking the vaccine. And I'm here, so God is good.
Because I'm taking mine tomorrow. That's what I'm just asking.
You've gone before. So that's what I'm saying. I can't say that it is the vaccine because
I mean, a lot of people have told me that the second dose was chaotic for them. Like they had.
I went to the hospital.
I think I should just brace myself because the first one also I actually reacted to it when I had the first dose. So I think the second one
probably won't. So I went to the hospital
just brace
this
myself.
morning. I saw the gynecologist and then I was explaining the issue, so let's know if it's your medicine. Or she was like, that she just took the vaccine and she has not gotten herself. That can I see that her AC is off, that she doesn't know what is wrong, but she knows that she will be fine, so that I don't have a problem. I said, so me and you will have the same problem. Who will you go and see?
Wow.
But yeah, it's an experience.
It is actually, it is. But you see, you're good, right?
Oh, I'm totally good, but I'm still I'm just wary of the scene also of having to take the vaccine as well. You know how they always say, the last time I went to have the vaccine taken or to take my vaccine, the nurses at the health center kept on saying, you know it's Nigeria, we do not have enough vaccine, So I hope that when I get there, those that are also coming for the first dose and those that are coming for the second dose will have enough.
I think they give priorities to second doses.
So immediately you get there, they look at your card and ask, are you coming for first or second?
Second doses, they give priorities.
They respond to you. So
I have a friend there, so I don't think I'm going to stay long. All right, so we're talking tourism. Today's World Tourism Day, and here's what we found as today's quote. Tourism is the biggest industry in the world. It's as simple as that. So it's World Tourism Day, as I said earlier on, and Oladele Ogunlala is here to discuss tourism as a strategy towards building a better Nigeria. But first, we'll take a break to see what we found in the news. You're still watching Ways now, and the COVID-19 pandemic has had a massive social and economic impact. Both developed and developing countries or economies have been hit, and marginalized groups and the most vulnerable have been hit hardest of all. The restart of tourism will help kickstart recovery and growth, and it is essential that the benefit this will bring are enjoyed widely and fairly. So the World Tourism Organization, that's UNTO, has organized designated World Tourism Day 2021 as a day to focus on tourism for inclusive growth. Now, the World Tourism Organization is a leading UN international agency in the field of tourism. Its mission is to promote tourism as a driver of economic growth, inclusive development, and environmental sustainability, and offers leadership and support to the sector in advancing knowledge and tourism policies worldwide. So we're going to be dwelling more on tourism today, especially because we have a guest with us, but quickly, what do you think about, when you hear the word tourism, what comes to your mind?
Elsie, you go first.
I'm sad because this is what, today is 27th of September, right? I have not traveled this year. So it's just dawning on me that I'm actually sad. That's how I feel about today.
Wow.
I'm sad for another reason, because I think we have different Nigerians or different people from Nigeria going to Dubai to have one exploit or the other in Dubai. And in the course of it, what do we see? We see so many things that are amazing in Dubai that they tend to experience, and they come back with, feeling revived and rejuvenated to face the madness we have in Nigeria. We do not have things like that in Nigeria because
We do not, or we've not developed it.
we do not.
We do actually, but we do not
do.
just know. We know
It's
what?
just like you have something,
think
but you
That's
do
why we're
not
having
have
this
it.
Well, let's have a
Actually,
guess.
It's
I
practically
think we do.
non-existent.
No, I think we
It's
do.
practically
Trust me.
non-existent.
Things have changed, though. All right, so for our What's in the News segment today, we are actually celebrating a young Nigerian. We found the story in the news. It made news, and we thought it was worthy of having a conversation with a young man. So the Nigerian man celebrates his win after bagging fully funded scholarship to the University of Oxford for his master's. And his name is Chinedu Nwaduru, and he's joined in live via Zoom from the UK. Thank you so much, Chinedu, for joining us this evening.
All right, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
I'm super excited to have you because, first of all, Ways is a show that is geared towards young minds. We want to see and help give hope to people for possibilities. Everything can happen. I mean, it's one thing for you to have a scholarship, but it's another thing for you to have a fully funded scholarship. Means that zero kobo you do not need for this journey that you've embarked on. Congratulations, first of all. I would like to ask, starting the conversation, how did this happen? Where did it start from? Because, I read it just January here. That was when you applied. And all of a sudden, you're already in the UK about to start your master's. Tell us the story.
Okay, well, thank you once again for having me. So, it's a very funny story. And when I think about it in hindsight, it's very funny because it started off in 2020. So, I entered 2020 with my New Year resolution. I was going to take my board exams, move out. I had a very structured plan. In fact, I was going to pat myself on the back that 2020 was the year that I made a perfect resolution. And then COVID happened. So COVID ruined a lot of my plans. I wasn't able to do the exam, and I fell into depression, and I was going through emotional stuff, family stuff. So 2020 seemed like a mess. And towards November 2020, you know what? I just told myself, enough with the whole self-pity, blaming COVID, and just telling yourself that everything that happened was because of COVID. Yeah, fine, COVID, global pandemic, but seize the opportunity, take control of what you can control. And the other thing that you can't control, oh well, let the universe handle it. And so I just decided, all right, I'm going to pick up my Oxford application because it was something that I was going to do prior in my well-structured plan, but then it didn't just happen. So I just picked it up, dying minute. All the scholarships had closed. So I literally was putting all my eggs in one basket, and I rallied around, got my lecturers to write letters of reference for me. And the deadline for the submission was January 8th of 2021. I submitted January 6th.
Wow.
So, it was a fiasco, trust me. And then I was just, I had a friend who had gone there prior, and then he had this particular scholarship. So I was just dreaming. It sounds silly, but that was it. I literally put all my eggs in one basket, and I was just hoping that I was going to get a scholarship. Fast forward, I got called for the interview. I sat on the panel. They asked questions. They said they were impressed with my performance at the application. And so I asked them, okay, hey, please, when they say, do you have any question? I was like, please, do you have any money for me? Because I am just in Nigeria. Like, I cannot fund myself. And they were like, oh, it's really out of their hands. That, yeah, I had done very well, but that their job was after the interview, they were going to, prioritize and look at the performance scale, and then they will nominate students for scholarship. Usually they will nominate to the faculty, and then the faculty will make the final decision. So I just said, okay, fingers crossed. At the end of January, I got my certificate of offer that, I'd been given a place in the program. So yay, but then it was, okay, where's the money? And then I asked my course administrator, please, don't forget me. I still need money. And then she was like, yeah, by April, that the list of students who have been successful with the scholarship was going to be out, but that they, on their part, had nominated for scholarship, which is a big deal because you need to be nominated. If you're not nominated, you might as well, you can't get any scholarship. So I was like, okay, fine. It means I had done well. And then April came, and then I was like, have you forgotten me? Please, I'm here. And then the lady goes on to say, dear Chinedu, we're sorry. The list of scholarship, blah, 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 has come out. And unfortunately, you didn't get it.
Wow.
Yeah. That was, I was at the hospital that day. I was on rounds because I'm a medical doctor. I broke down, like legit. I cried in front of my patient. Like she didn't even know what was going on.
Wow.
Like I was just like, what is wrong with you, man? And I was just like, the tears. I just had to excuse myself because, how do you say you almost got into Oxford? It's not like you can put it on your CV. I got into Oxford, but I did not go. How do you marry that? So, and then I remember sending a bitter email, well, an emotional email rather, to my course administrator. I was crying, selling myself, please help me. I'm passionate. I will do this. I will do that. And the man just replied with the same thing that, they're sorry because of COVID, there was lack of funds. And so I was just like, okay, you know what, I give up. And I should look for external sources. And I was just like, you know what, there were no other scholarships available. So I just resigned to faith. And I was like, you know what, maybe Oxford is just one of those opportunities that you came close, but you never, got to realize it. And on the 11th of May, exactly a week after my birthday, lo and behold, the most prestigious of them all sends me an email. Well, sequel to your performance, blah, 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 yadi, yadi, yadi. You've been awarded a fully funded scholarship.
Divine intervention. That is divine intervention. Honestly.
That was it. So, I rolled out from my bed and I just kept thanking God because, how do you explain going from a zero scholarship to, my friend kept encouraging me but, all this thing is word of mouth. If you don't get it, if it's not tangible, it's just word of mouth. So fast forward from April, September, I'm here in Oxford.
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations so quickly.
I actually
Amazing.
want to ask, I know, yes, it is divine and it's a miracle. But do you think, in hindsight, what do you think is that thing that stood you out for this amazing miracle? What would you say it is and somebody can learn from?
That it factor.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. As much as I'm a person of faith and I like to, ascribe everything to God, even the Bible says, you should work hard. So I want to believe that a lot of things played out for me from undergrad. So in undergrad, I engaged myself in a lot of activities. So I was into student politics. I'm a chef. I cook. I did campus journalism. Trust me, medicine was never my first choice. If anyone had told me growing up that I was going to be a medical doctor, I'd have said, no, I wanted to be a journalist. So you guys are doing what I love. So yeah.
Wow.
So I was into campus journalism throughout my undergrad. And I think another thing again was, I exposed myself. So I went for research conferences outside the country. I did a rotation in Chicago. So I think all of those things played a huge factor for me in terms of having a very robust CV, a very diverse CV. So when you're looking at my CV, you're not just seeing a medical student who just read it. You're seeing a politician, you're seeing a journalist, you're seeing someone who is involved in research. And the very funny thing is, the professor that I met in Chicago when I went for my electives happened to be friends with the professor that sat on the panel for my Oxford. So the whole conversation started with, Professor ABC. I trained with him.
Wow.
It's not a day.
Wow,
So
it's
that's
not a
all.
day's journey.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you had to
Quickly,
say,
in 1 minute.
in 1 minute, if you had to say something to the Nigerian youth today, what would you say to them to be able to achieve this feat?
Dream big. I mean, if there's anything I've learned, dream big. And I'll just draw from one example. I mean, in med school, I wanted to go to Chicago for my electives. A lot of people told me, in fact, from family, they told me, no, why? Why don't you just stay in Nigeria and whatnot? And I just told myself, I mean, I want more from life. Yeah. And I funded myself. I got my visa. And when I got my US visa, that was when everybody, literally my family, started saying, oh my God, he did it. All right, let's fund him. And everybody just brought money and they funded me to the US. So my advice to Nigerian youth is, dream big. Don't limit yourself. If you can dream it, you can definitely do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We really celebrate you, and we are hoping to have more of these conversations with you. Thank you for making out time to talk to us this evening. All right, so on that note, we'll take a break. When we come back from the break, today is World Tourism Day. Let's look for opportunities within Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Welcome to The Breakfast.
A breakfast where we unbundle top and big stories of the day.
Is vaccine the only way out of this pandemic?
No, definitely not.
Many Ghanaians just want a peaceful election and they are hoping there will be no rigging.
There is nothing bad in borrowing for infrastructure. The minister added that he was impressed.
Please come and see yourself what we are doing with the money we have borrowed.
It's very important. The way we brand ourselves is the way people will carry us.
It's just the driver of the two vehicles that were completely bad. This one was here screaming.
What do you recommend the government do to support this sector?
Direct intervention, that's what every government all over the world has done.
We are not a parallel security structure. Amotepu Corps is a complementary corps.
What I will not encourage Christians to do is to carry dagger and follow anybody. No.
Join us on The Breakfast, 7 a.m., Monday to Friday.
Hello and welcome. It's Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Nimasa This Week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Statutorily mandated to ensure that there is regulation and promotion of matters affecting our waters. NIMASA bears responsibility for search and rescue, shipping development, and ship registration.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on this channel.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, tourism is recognized a recognized pillar of most, if not all, the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 1, that's no poverty, Goal 5, gender equality, Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, and Goal 10, reduce inequalities. Most thriving nations globally have invested heavily to make their countries tourist attractions. According to the United Nations, the impact of COVID-19 on tourism will cost the world's economy $4 trillion, and developing countries will be among the most affected ones. Now, did you know that tourism employs 1 in every 10 people on Earth? With the current challenges of banditry, unemployment, and robbery, and all the vices plaguing Nigeria, how can we harness this important sector to build a bigger, better, and economically viable Nigeria? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Elsie, why were you laughing?
I was laughing because we have not talked about the issue that was on ground before. You're bringing Boko Haram security to the matter.
But honestly,
before that one, there was already a huge problem in that sector. So, do you want this show to complete today or not?
No, we will complete the show. We will complete the show. But
you know what I'm talking about.
I understand you 100%. But if tourism has the capacity to employ 1 in every 10 person, do you think we'll have idle hands anymore for Boko Haram, for banditry, for robbery?
Absolutely not.
So it reminds me of, I don't know which of the places now, if it's Zanzibar or something, but there was a place I went to, and some of the places we paid to go and visit, I got in there, and then I just felt, okay, yeah, it's nice, but it wasn't mind-blowing. I mean, it takes a while to make me mind-blown, though. But again, I was looking at it based on the places I've been to in Nigeria. So I don't know if you've been to where they call is it Adoiwaye or Adewaye? I don't know. It's in, okay, let me not disgrace myself. It's in Oyo State, right? And it's the suspended lake, right? Okay. And that is just one of the many kind of things we can develop.
Have you visited IITA?
I've not visited IIT. I'm talking about those things that you can create a mind-blowing experience around it, and you can easily tell someone, have you gone to see this happen? Or is it the one in Ekiti? Or where is it where cold and hot water? Is it the Ikogosi? Yeah, Ikogosi is happening. So we have so many amazing things. That
but we're not just converting them.
I don't understand.
That was bringing our guests.
And I don't know. Even when people are aware, how do they go there? The roads are bad. The security is a problem. It's even more expensive to have a holiday in Nigeria than traveling to these countries I mentioned. So what exactly is going on? I don't understand it, and it's frustrating. And maybe because I'm sad, like I said as well, because I'm not traveling.
The rail line is working. Sure, you use
There's no rail to
Adoiwaye. Okay, it's coming.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's the picture. Thank you.
He's the Chief Potential Officer at Ethos and Metal Limited. He is a multifaceted communications specialist, a charismatic and persuasive public relations representative, and a promoter of I Am Nigerian, an initiative which seeks to challenge the status quo and engage Nigerians, both young and old, to be the solution to Nigeria's problem. And he's coming here to tell us the solution to our tourism problem. He's joining live with us in studio. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my goodness. But you were coming to give us a solution. Thank you so much for coming.
We will chart a course to the solution.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully. But let's, I mean, when I was looking at these numbers, it was quite alarming for me, because if tourism has the capacity to employ 1 in every 10 persons, it means that we will not have problems with unemployment, we will not have problems with a lot of vices that we are plagued with in Nigeria. So how come we are not taking advantage of this big opportunity? Because it's not for lack of tourist destinations that Nigeria is not doing well in the sense of in that space of tourism. So tell us, maybe give us a background of what the tourism atmosphere looks like in Nigeria, and where do we go from there?
Okay, let me quickly tell you, it's not more expensive to travel within Nigeria now. Go and do your figures again, because if you're going abroad now, all those money for COVID tests here, COVID tests there, it adds up. You stay in a hotel, so it's still cheaper.
Yes, thank you for telling her that.
I don't agree, but okay.
But it's okay, we've seen the figures. But I think we need to first even understand what tourism is. You see, first of all, when you say strategies, I think this is probably part of the problem. That's big grammar.
Yes.
You know, so how do we begin to improve on our Nigeria using tourism as a vessel? Okay, maybe that would help those that should listen to actually hear what we have to say, because it's just about improving the things that need to be improved on.
Yeah.
But then again, tourism is when you move from your natural or your usual place to other places or from that other place and stay there for less than a year. That's what they say. For either for leisure, for business, or for other purposes. That's tourism. Okay. And I believe that first things first, we've got to understand what tourism is and then situate it in terms of importance to those drivers or those that superintend over the nation. If it's not important enough to them, then we'll just keep having this
back and forth.
If it's not important to them, then it's not important, and it's not going to get us anywhere. So the 1 in 10, fantastic statistics, and we have all the necessary sites that can be visited. We have historical sites, we have different great things, scenery, we have things that we've been blessed with as a nation. But you see, if we don't have people superintending over this nation, being focused on those things.
Yeah.
Yes, they've got to be deliberate about it. If we don't have them, we won't even know they exist. You know, we can just hear about those things. You were trying to call one place now. I mean, even me, I don't know they are doing something you're saying. You know, so if those that are in charge are not interested, then we won't have the 1 in 10. So we will have those other reasons why people are not coming in for tourism.
So how do we make them see the importance, or how do they get interested?
Okay. You know, whenever I'm talking now, I try to be positive. You warned me the last time. Okay, so let's look at, maybe we need to begin to educate people on the benefits of tourism.
Yeah.
And then maybe if they listen enough, or we can catch their attention, then they can begin to understand why it's important. Okay? So it's always easier to make it simple, stupid, again, to help, because at this kind of time, maybe people are tired. So when you say other things, they may not get it in. But you see, when you look at tourism, benefits of tourism will be job creation. You can talk about job creation, okay? You can talk about the employment opportunities that come with tourism. You can talk about alleviating poverty because income will be generated. You can talk about people getting together, people that have a pride in their cultural heritage. That goes a long way. Those are benefits that are actually tangible.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so it also preserves the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Right? Then we have those local communities where the sites are located. We begin to promote them. You know, and it's amazing when you get people in a local community to understand that what they have and has been taken for granted is worth much more. They would preserve it.
Exactly.
Especially because they also see that it's income generating, it's engaging a lot more people. But you know, if they continue to just see it as a regular thing, it will not be as important. I remember, I think I mentioned it the last time, I went to a place where there was a stream. You know, it's a stream, and one is hot, one is cold, different from the Kogosi one. This is in Ogun State. One is hot, one is cold. And then a child, and we were still fascinated, and I was saying, well, this is like a Kogosi. You know how it is when you just want to make some people feel...
like it's not special.
Yeah. But then there was a child that was convulsing, and they brought that child. And I'm a skeptic when it's things like that. But you see, they brought that child, and we're all there, and they put the left leg in the hot, right leg in the cold.
Wow.
And they scooped the water, and they poured it on the child's head.
Wow.
And the thing subsided.
Wow.
Now, for me, I saw a spectacle. For me, I saw adventure. For me, and I thought, oh my God, the average foreigner would freak out and they would talk about this. And for all those people, it was natural. It was just normal. It was no big deal. But then I will go in there and tell them what I have just experienced and how we can actually bring people to see what they take for granted. And so you've got to get a buy-in in every community about those things. And once people feel a part of what you're doing, it becomes a lot easier. We will talk about the problems that will not get us to those locations.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm still trying to look at positives. Okay? When you look at the benefits of tourism, you look at the hospitality industry, hotels, resorts, everybody's booming. You look at transport, the airlines, rail, and taxis, you know. You look at, which other one now? Entertainment. The food vendors. Everybody's making money. Everybody's excited about it. Things are happening for everybody. And that way we will preserve, people will learn to preserve what we have. But when we don't have someone, you see, there's nobody having that helicopter view of this entire thing. And so we're not getting the right picture.
Are you absolutely certain about that? We have a minister for...
you want to put me in trouble now.
Culture and tourism.
I was going to look at it from the perspective that Nigerians have been able to, you know, provide themselves with security. They've been able to provide themselves with certain things that the government is supposed to do for them. So is there no possibility of of individuals coming together as a body to, you know, aside from the fact that you said that instead of waiting for the government to step in to do this.
I'm going to answer, but let me quickly answer her because she has now put her finger in my eyes. Minister. Okay, one of the things that the minister said at the time, and I wouldn't forget, is that he said that it's not being taken seriously enough, and that the ministry is being given tokenism.
Oh.
That's what he said. Okay? Now, but I'm saying that not to say that even the token that has been given has been judiciously applied, but I'm just saying that, so he's also recognized it. Again, because...
It's not taken seriously.
Because it's not taken seriously. And then I keep asking myself, would it be taken seriously if you have someone that understands
the business,
the potentials driving that ship?
Exactly.
I keep asking. Because you see, you find out that that person wakes, sleeps, breathes it, and then you see again, if you see how they just shocked tourism under information culture and then you say, you see, so it tells you the rating that it has and how important it is in the scheme of things. So we need to push it up and let people begin to see that there's value in promoting tourism.
Absolutely.
Okay, so sorry, I forgot your question. So why can't individuals come together?
After all, I think we had something like that in Calabar, where the erstwhile governor did something like that.
Let him answer you.
Okay. What the governor did is different from what you've just asked, because that's government as well.
No, but he was no longer in the system when he did it, did he?
No, he did it while he was in government.
He did while he was in government. And again, you see, because Donald was passionate about
and he knew the potential.
And tourism, and he could see. Yes. That was why things like Tinapa came up.
Exactly.
And that's why the Calabar Carnival
came up.
Because he sees. And that's the key. You need someone that can see.
What about individuals coming together to see?
Okay, fine. Let's go into the problems then. Okay, so individuals can come together, yes. And that would be really something. But I'm beginning to ask myself, how would individuals attend to poor infrastructure, for instance?
The roads.
Yes. How will individuals begin to deal with terrorism and the security challenges how will the individuals deal with misrepresentation abroad? We can try, but it's different when it's just at that level. How would we also, we can deal with proper management, especially if we look at it as a private initiative. We can deal with that, but then we also don't even have data.
To back that up.
We don't have data. So there are many things, and yes, it is possible, because all things are possible for them that believe.
Unquote.
So if you believe, it is
well,
possible.
I think tourism has never been something. If you really want to take tourism seriously, it has to be a government-driven project that they know. Because from your airports, I mean, take Dubai, for instance. That is why Dubai is the attraction, is the eye candy for the world. Exactly. Take from the airport, you're supposed to smell, breathe, what's it called, welcome. And so you are welcoming everybody to your country. It means that you take it as serious business. But you know what? We're going to take a break. Just a short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So if you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with Oladele Ogunlala on tourism as a strategy for building a better Nigeria. Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So you see, everybody keeps saying we're not supposed to. Yes, now I was going to go that people always feel like we shouldn't be benchmarking ourselves with Dubai. Dubai came and approached President Obasanjo, said, come and invest in our country. I mean, every time I see that country, it just tells me that these people are serious. Why? They don't have so much. I mean, yes, they don't have so much. Like, if you want to compare...
Okay, they didn't have so much.
They didn't have so much. Or they didn't have so much.
Yeah.
If you want to compare the resources Nigeria has to Dubai, they have nothing. In all honesty, when you check the resources. But it is just the vision and a leader that knows what to do. So tell us the place of leadership in terms of, building, what's it called, a better appeal when it comes to tourism.
The place of leadership. Like every other thing, what you see is what you get. If you cannot see it, you cannot get it. You can't have it. You can't feel it. So, back and forth. I'm trying so hard to be careful. Back and forth in terms of leadership. You've got to, again, the responsibility falls on those that put people in leadership in place. Okay? Because you've got to be able to ask questions. You've got to be able to query leadership. You've got to be able to ask and demand where they want to take us to. Because if you're seeing something and you're being led by someone that cannot see it,
True.
Then where are you really? You see, so for leadership, we talked about Donald. He led because he could see it and he actualized it. Now, the other key component is that when you see, you've got to share it. Okay, so when you share it, then people will run with your message. Sure. I always tell people that it's like the story of a preacher. A preacher comes and he delivers his message. He shares it. And then the people he's speaking to, they own it. And then they repeat the message. And so that's the way it works. So he shared it, he saw it, he shared it, and the people found out that, wow, this is amazing. And Calabar, Cross River State was just amazing for a long time.
Yeah.
So leadership is key. We can't continue to indulge uncreative people.
Absolutely.
We've got to seek out people that have a vision, that can envision things. The story is told of the Dubai man who just drew something, you know, and he said, this is what I see, this is what I want. And then they created it. That's the role of leadership. You know, I read something earlier on today where I was actually talking to myself about learning. And I found out that I kept going back to things that were easy for me to learn.
True.
Okay? So I'm paying for a course in branding, I'm paying for a course Then I said to myself, no, that's not learning. Go out of that comfort zone and go and do something. Look for something that is not easy.
You struggle, but you would get it.
Yes, and then you get fresh information. That's what learning is about. So if we continue to hold on to people that do not have fresh information or are not open to fresh information, then we will be having this conversation again in another 10 years.
So what do we have, what's the role of education in all of this? Do we have to start from the schools? Do we have to build a crop of leaders or children that will become better leaders to aid this dream?
That's an interesting question.
We have to start from somewhere.
Okay. So education. I'm hearing you now, and I'm hearing education, but I'm split in my mind now because you said school.
Yes.
Okay, there's the other side of it that is not necessarily school. Okay, it's that community that I go into, and they're not schooled, but they understand
what they have.
And so they're able to present it. So they are a good resource for what we're talking about. So education for me, yes, it's good to have that because then you can deliver more on what they have there. So everybody works together.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, everybody just works together. Otherwise, you know, but education is key because education again is what will help us to see that we're just going round in circles. And we're not attending to this issue of tourism.
Still talking about going around in circles and not attending to the issue. I'm still looking for ways to maybe help those in government understand that this is important, right? And we always talk about diversification of the internet, you know, and I personally think that tourism is one way to diversify. And I believe that if those in leadership positions begin to see that as well, maybe the tokenism being given to that ministry would be different, and then our major problem will now be who is that person that is fit to be a minister in that place to ensure that the vision is actualized, right? I also take this back to the question EC asked earlier in terms of us as a people and what we can do. So there is a tourist company, I can't remember their name now, but I know they went into a partnership with, I think, Oyo State for either Oyo State or Ikogosi people, right? And this is a long private partnership agreement whereby they can come in, take care of the place, ensure that it is up to standard and is well taken care of. And over the period of, I think, 20 years, they have a plan where they can make their money back, and of course, it goes back to the government. So can we begin to have such creative ideas around this thing? Because if we keep waiting...
That's public-private partnerships, you know.
And still just waiting for the government, in quotes, to actually do something. I mean, we'll probably have a Donald Duke once in 20 years. I don't know. Right. So,
if we ever.
So can we have those sort of arrangements, and beyond the security issues, do you think that would help, or will it make sense in the long run?
We can have those sort of arrangements. You were saying that project is where?
One of the southern states.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Again, another issue that we have is air transport. It affects tourism. So if, for instance, that state doesn't have air access, that state can only be accessed by maybe Lagos. And so we're still back to it. I've got to travel from Lagos to that state. I'm faced with those issues immediately. So whatever you plan or plant in that place, it becomes isolated. It might be lovely, it might be fantastic, but there's so many issues that have to be dealt with deliberately for people to get to that place. So I'm thinking of some things, and it's becoming more expensive because I'm thinking of airlifting.
Security details that must go with you.
It's so expensive. So there are issues where, to improve it, we've got to begin to look at how to improve peace.
So there has to be a national.
So I was going to even ask
conversation on this progress.
I was going to ask that what exactly is it costing us not paying attention to tourism? Because every single state in this country has something, some form of attraction. If you really want to check, you would find.
Absolutely.
Every single state, Can we maybe paint a picture for them to see what it's costing us? Because, states are just busy back and forth with the federal government on VATs, a lot of clamoring here. We talked about state viability, how to make your state a lot more economically viable. This is like a low-hanging fruit, right? If we could actually promote peace, like you rightly said, and everybody understands the mission. The mission is to make Nigeria attractive. So what exactly is it costing us? Not even paying attention to the tourism sector in the country, because we are the most traveled people in the world. We go everywhere. We spend so much money, and we cannot spend this money internally.
That's part of the problem. It's a major part of the problem. Tourism is not functional in Nigeria because we're always traveling out. Okay? So if we do not have government showing interest in tourism, it's not going to happen.
People in government want to travel out.
Good. So you have a lot of the people in leadership, let me not say government now.
Okay.
People in leadership always traveling to Dubai. So how do you want to encourage people to come to your country if you find rest in other climes and you find fun in other climes, rather than begin to create the fun or make your home attractive? You see, sometimes when we talk about these things, it sounds like a cliche, but it's the reality of it, because if government is not interested, we're not going to go far, because you've got to make your home attractive. You've got to make your home attractive. You've got to get your people to even like home. If we don't like home, you can't start selling home to the outsider, because how can you sell to me what you don't like or where you don't even want to be? There's so many issues that need to be dealt with, and then let's look at our culture and tourism and all of that. We have a lot of historical things, that we can preserve and we can actually sell. We can bring people to see, we can promote, we can actually create stories out of, we can create walk-through realities for people. But you see, by the time we go to the place, we want to turn it into Oyiboish flavor.
Yeah, we want to lose the originality of who we are.
So we begin to waste that, and I always wonder, don't we imagine that people actually want to see the originality in us? That's part of why they want to come over. I was working with one of the governors at a particular time, and we amazing, the state had so many tourism sites, so many minerals. They had 13 local government areas, and they had 3 mineral deposits in each.
Wow.
Yes. And then they had tourism sites all over. Now, so we went to the fall. They had this massive waterfall, and I got so excited. So I said to the guy, I said, we should have settlements or like hotels. Oh yeah, he said, yeah, he wants to put a 5-star.
No,
that's not what we're even going to build.
Like how it's supposed
you can make it modern on the inside,
but outside it looks. Oh my God!
You see, so that's what I was saying about if leadership cannot see, we're blind.
Okay, this blindness right?
Comment, Isi. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Isi,
they travel, agreed, and they go to all these places to rest. I believe that traveling is some form of education.
It is.
And also helps us
to open up our minds.
Why is their minds not opening when they go to these places? No, it's worrying, because sometimes when I want to get agitated or offended and say, oh, why are you traveling, I look at it from that angle to say it is important to travel.
I think it takes to some level of national pride for you to be able to, your mind to be open. You see, the pride Dubai has is that you cannot find another country that is finer than ours. So anything they go outside the country and they want it replicated in their country.
Okay. But based on where we are now, right, with our situations and what we have on ground and where we hope to get to, what are the possibilities of attracting investors into this sector in Nigeria? Not just playing on our own strong hands and level. Like
when?
After security challenges have been
so
rectified.
there's no possibility.
Okay. No, I was asking when. Because we've talked about the things that need to be sorted.
I mean, no investor need to be sorted, but there are other sectors in the economy that still get investors.
Yes, no, but you see, no investor will want to invest when they're unsure of even
an environment.
No, the outside of security, Nigerian economy is too volatile.
Exactly.
There can be a change of government, and the next thing, policies are changing. So you see, that's why I said it has to be a deliberate thing, and they know that tourism is untouched. So we must push and we must drive and make Nigeria a more economically, viable country, and we want to use tourism as the driver. But everybody must be all hands on deck. But they're not ready for that.
National pride.
When I go to your
national
house,
pride, yes.
When I come to your house and I see something hanging, I'll be like, I like this thing. Where did you get it? I'll come and hang it.
In your own house, yes, no.
Why is it different? Please take your message.
It's national pride.
Says, this from Benson. He says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, your statistics of employment, 1 in every 10 Nigerians. This comes to direct employment for 20 million Nigerians. To date, this has not provoked government to give urgent attention to tourism.
He's asking. To date, this has not provoked government to give urgent attention?
He's not asking.
He's asking you.
It's a statement.
He's also nudging and saying, I mean, with the statistics, can't you guys see?
There's no.
No, you see, it's a commitment to change things. Okay, let me say this carefully. If you do not love your people enough, you're not going to want to make things a lot easier for them. You're not going to commit to making these things that we're talking about tangible or real.
I've always talked about love. This is not about love.
Honestly.
It's as simple as that.
You just have to love the people.
Just don't care.
You know, it's why are we not, you know, we should have people flying in droves because they want to see their Dire market. For instance, sorry, I had to go there.
No, you have to go there. I love the Adire.
Yeah, no, but it's just, you know, it's...
The only part, or one of the parts in this country that have attracted tourism at that scale is religion.
Yes, Osun Festival.
Religion. From church
to
church events.
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to say to you that churches are actually doing a good job when it comes to tourism. You're laughing.
No. Say that again. Slowly.
Churches are actually doing a good job when it comes to tourism because they have the capacity to bring people from all over the world to
Is that
Nigeria.
a good job about tourism? What do they really do in that space?
Okay. At least people within the locals there are able to benefit. They will sell anointing oil. No, it's income generation.
With your country not giving visa when they are coming, did they come in straight for free?
So
was that not generating money?
Yeah,
for
it generated
the
income.
economy?
There's a flight ticket. We don't know which airline. We don't have a local airline.
Okay, now you see.
If we have to look at the future and evaluate tourism in Nigeria, do you have a benchmark of when you think this can be rectified?
Ewo. That's the final question.
Yes.
It has to be with that kind of question.
Yes.
How can I tell you when?
Yeah.
Give us an idea.
Based on
what you think.
Chief Potential Officer of Ethos.
Yes.
No, but honestly, I think that the conversation must be intense. I think we learned a lot from the COVID, the pandemic, and if we don't learn on moving forward, then we're going to have to go through another nasty season. But I think we've had the opportunity to actually see how we can begin to tap into the things that are freely given to us. You know, these things are freely given to us, and we're ignoring these things. It's madness. There's so many things that we can leverage on just to make life easy for everybody, and there is a buy-in, you know, and we all subscribe to it, and we just, even for me, let's even try it. Sure. And see whether all this grammar will work. But let's just even try it. Let's get someone that can be bold enough to say, you know what, I want to try this in my state. And I'm going to be deliberate about it, and let's watch. And see. You know, so we have a benchmark locally, you know.
Absolutely. I was going to even say to EC that, honestly, from what you have said, everything, it just takes one correct head. So you don't even need a timeline. Yeah. If we have the correct head today that says, I want to do this,
it's a ripple effect
immediately. So we just need to get the correct.
I also think the focus on the railway transport is
a good step in the right direction.
So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, and he doesn't agree with
they should complete, and they should complete.
Please, I have to wrap
possible.
Thank you. Well, for coming. We had a fantastic time. We hope you come back again. Thank you, Isi Ofodile. Thank you. I hope you come back again. No answer.
I will.
I'm waiting for my answer. All right, so before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand and following the conversation. So do well to follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch. If you missed today's quote, it's a very short quote, but it's very apt. Tourism is the biggest industry in the world. We don't need to preach more than this. So a right-thinking government should start to put an eye on tourism. We'll see you. Is it out, Chabi? Yeah. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll also bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on PlusTvAfrica, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408, or send an email to marketing@PlusTvAfrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.